Good morning, friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Medical Classes by Dr. Srinidhi Kumar Acharya. Don't forget to subscribe my channel and also please give your valuable comments. Now, as we know that we are discussing about a series of lectures related to understanding of Ayurveda, and we were discussing about why and how Ayurveda is different from other medical sciences or other contemporary medical sciences. So we have already covered two parts, and this part, so we will cover another important aspect of Ayurveda, that is Pancha Mahabhoota theory. Now, this is one theory which completely differentiate Ayurveda from the other medical sciences, because Pancha Mahabhoota theory is the basic theory of Ayurveda, and everything which is explained in Ayurveda is based on the Pancha Mahabhoota theory, because this body itself is considered to be formed by the Pancha Mahabhutas. Okay, the Pancha Mahabhutas are also present in this universe. They are the cause of this universe or Karana of this universe, and they are also the cause for this body and also the cause for these cells. And Pancha Mahabhutas will also nourishes the body as well as mind. Even the mana and indriyas are also nourished by the Pancha Mahabhutas. That means what we are discussing about qualitative part, quantitative part in the last lecture series, that qualitative part is also nourished by the Pancha Mahabhutas, and this qualitative part and quantitative part is also nourished by the Pancha Mahabhutas. So that suggests that Pancha Mahabhutas are the basic structures or elements which is required for the existence of this universe and also for the existence of this body and existence of this life. That part is very, very clear. Now try to understand this Pancha Mahabhuta theory. And we know that Pancha Mahabhutas are 5 in number: Prithvi, Aap, Agni or Teja, Vayu and Akasha, and they are present in the subtle form and as well as in the gross form. When these Pancha Mahabhutas are present in the subtle form, invisible form, they are existing but they are not seen, they are present in the invisible form, then usually we will call it as Pancha Tanmatras. And when it comes to an existing form or a gross form, then it is called as the Pancha Mahabhutas. That's the difference between Pancha Tanmatra and Pancha Mahabhutas. Pancha Mahabhutas are nothing but one which is derived from the Pancha Tanmatras. The gross form of the Pancha Tanmatra is called as Pancha Mahabhutas. Now, how to understand this Pancha Mahabhuta and how it is responsible for formation of this whole universe and also this body? Because once the universe is formed, the body is nothing but the replica of the universe itself. So that is also made up of Pancha Mahabhutas only. Now, before the formation of the life in this universe, previously for crores, lakhs of crores of a course of years, there was nothing existing in this universe and everything is present in the subtle form. There is some karana is there, but there is no karya taking place. That is, every requirement which is required for the formation of the universe is there, but it is present in the subtle form. The changes are not taking place. It is present before the formation of the Srishti. All the causes for the Srishti are present. In spite of that, there is no changes taking place. Everything is present in the inert form. And then one fine day, the changes started, and Ayurveda consider it as when Purusha come in contact with the Prakriti, the changes begin. The changes starts in the Sattva, Raja and Tama, 3 important energies which is present in this universe, and then the morphological changes and the changes takes place, and ultimately one fine day there is formation of the life, and then the life starts in the earth. This is what Ayurveda say. The same thing has been explained in the contemporary sciences also. As we know, they talk about formation of this universe, how it's happened. They give the example of Big Bang theory, they give the example of black hole theory, cosmetic theory. Many theories are proposed because none of them are not completely accepted, and it found that none of the single cause can be the cause of this formation of universe. Anyway, but what I would say is Pancha Mahabhutas are basically the cause of this universe, and change in these Pancha Mahabhutas started only this. That means that the Pancha Mahabhutas are existing in universe, but they are not doing any action. There is no any changes taking place, and that form of the universe is called as Avyakta Prakriti. Avyakta. There is nothing Vyakta. Everything is Avyakta. Okay, nothing has been Vyakta. There is Avyakta. So Avyakta Prakriti is there, and what happens is these three energies, Sattva, Rajatama, in the form of three energies. So they now start doing some changes in the Prakriti, and then we call it as Purusha, and then the changes takes place. Whatever may be the change. Now, what do you mean understand by these Pancha Mahabhutas? Now, what Taittiriya Upanishad says is Tasmadva etasmadvaha akashaha atmanaha sambhuta. So that means in the beginning there is nothing is there, only Atma or that particular energy was there. Okay, when this particular energy, which we refer as Purusha, and when it come in contact with the Prakriti, that is Avyakta Prakriti, where changes are not taking place. Once it comes in contact with this particular Avyakta Prakriti, then the changes starts, and that is the starting point of a formation of this universe. Okay, so when there is a formation of this universe takes place, the first thing which is formed is what it says Akasha Atmanaha Akasha Sambhutaha. That means the first which is the element or material which is formed, or first entity which is formed in the universe, is nothing but Akasha. Akasha refers to free space, open space. This Brahmanda is the open space, and somebody also compare this with the ether. Nothing is there, space. Okay, so there is formation of the ether or Akasha in the beginning. Now, in this space, the changes now begin. In this space, the changes begin, and gradually there is formation of the different types of elements. So in that space, the first formed is the atmosphere. In the space, the first formed, that means atmosphere. In the atmosphere, we have got different types of gases. So there is formation of hydrogen gas, there is a formation of the nitrogen, there is formation of the oxygen. So everything this has been taken place inside this particular space. Okay, so first there is formation of the space, Akasha Sambhuta. Akasha Vayuhu, and from this space, or what you say ether, and there is formation of a Vayu Mandala, or what you say the gaseous environment. Gaseous environment is formed, and as we know that in the atmosphere, even today, gaseous environment, if you see, the 70 to 75% of the gas which is present in this atmosphere is nothing but, or this Vayu Mandala or gaseous environment is nothing but nitrogen. Predominantly it is nitrogen, and only 21% of oxygen is there in the free air. So predominantly it contains nitrogen. So we can say that, so first there is formation of the Vayu Mahabhuta. Okay, even today also in the Vayu Mahabhuta or free gaseous matter, if you see, the nitrogen is the predominant gases, and there is a formation of the first element in the form of a nitrogen. So Vayu, for the practical purpose, so we can take this particular Vayu as a nitrogen. So first there is formation of Atma, that particular energy. The energy come in contact with the Avyakta Prakriti, changes starts, and as a result, first there is formation of the space, and from the space, in the space there is occupation of this particular the space is occupied by this Vayumandala or atmosphere, and in the atmospheric gaseous environment, the major gas which is present is nitrogen. So to some extent, or for practical understanding this Pancha Mahabhuta theory, I can say that so Vayu Mahabhuta here practically refers to nitrogen. So first there is formation of the nitrogen molecules. Okay, first there is formation of the nitrogen molecules in the space or ether. Now what happens is Akasha Atmana Sambhuta Akasha Vayoho Ragnir. Now this nitrogen now start reacting with the other elements which are present or which is getting formed, and as a result, so nitrogen undergoes different changes, and next element which is formed is oxygen. Next element which is formed is oxygen, and so therefore different oxides of nitrogen has been from NO, etc. Different oxides will be formed. So now there is actually oxygen, that means nitrogen start reacting with the other gases which is present in the atmosphere like oxygen, And now oxygen come into existence, and different forms of the oxygen like O2, then O3, ozone, and then oxygen, etc. is formed. And basically oxygen is having oxidizing property. We know that oxygen is the one which is very much important for the combustion purpose, and oxygen is also very much required for our heat production, and oxygen is also a reducing agent, and oxygen is also a very good disinfectant. We know all these things, and that means oxygen is very important for the production of the heat. So now this reaction of the nitrogen with the other gases like oxygen, it produces the heat, and therefore the next, as a result of these particular reactions, chemical reactions, there is formation of next element in the form of oxygen and different molecules of oxygen or different forms of the oxygen, and rightly it has been known to production of the heat, and therefore it has been referred as Tejo Mahabhuta. So first we have got the Akash Mahabhuta, from the Akash Mahabhuta we have got the Vayu Mahabhuta, from the Vayu Mahabhuta, and we have got the Tejo Mahabhuta or Agni Mahabhuta. Now when Bhutano Pravesha theory of Ayurveda, Pancha Mahabhuta theory, it clearly explains that the previous character will be retained. Now when I take a Teja Mahabhuta also contains the properties of Vayu Mahabhuta, Teja Mahabhuta also contains the properties of Akasha Mahabhuta, Teja Mahabhuta also contains the properties of Atma. So all these properties are retained as the procedure takes place. And this is not a 1 or 2 day process, this is a long process which took crores of years. Okay, so this change has been taken place. Once this has been taken place, now once there is formation of oxygen, and then there is formation of the water molecule, then formation of the water molecule, and as a result there is formation of the hydrogen. There is also the formation of a hydrogen, and from the hydrogen, now we have got hydrogen with us, we have got oxygen with us, and we have got nitrogen with us. Now the changes takes place, and as a result there is formation of the carbon. Different forms of the carbons are formed. So this carbon is a heavy material, a strong material, which is Guru and Drida, etc. So therefore it is called as Prithvi Mahabhuta. So if you see basically the Pancha Mahabhutas, they are nothing but the 4 basic molecules which are present in the universe. One is ether, it's a free space. Another one is nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon. So these 4 carbon particles are formed basically, and because of all these 4 basic, not carbon particles, 4 molecules are formed, and these molecules are responsible for formation of this whole universe. And if you see each and every part of this universe, they are not divided of these 4 important basic molecules. Whatever which is there, that is all derived thing or some other permutation and combination of these 4 basic molecules. Therefore Pancha Mahabhuta theory says that all this universe is made up of Pancha Mahabhutas, means this universe is made up of these 4 basic elements. Previously these basic elements were present in the subtle form, and when the combination takes place, they come into form of a gross form. Now this universe is a gross form. If I take a plant, the plant is made up of all these 4 materials. If I take a rock is also made up of all these 4 particles, basic elements. Without them, these 4 particles, it is not possible. So now this being the case, there is another important aspect to be understood, that is the formation of Pancha Mahabhuta. It starts from the Akasha Mahabhuta, and it also starts from it also going to end in the form of Prithvi Mahabhuta. Okay, so Prithvi is considered as the heaviest material in Ayurveda, whereas the Akasha is considered Apratigata Samartha. It's a very light material. And if you see the chemicals or different molecules and chemicals, metals which is formed according to chemistry, if you are talking according to chemistry, and we know that the molecular that is atomic number 1 is always hydrogen, and atomic number 2 is I think helium, and helium is the lightest material, and the atomic number 1, that hydrogen, is the heaviest material. We know that. And now because of a reaction takes place between, that means there is formation of hydrogen and there is formation of helium. In between, in the periodic table, if you see, there are so many other metals, chemicals, etc. is there, and they're all formed in between them. Okay, so that means all the other chemicals which are formed in between this hydrogen and helium molecule, if you look into the periodic table, it will be clear. In the one part there is hydrogen, in the another end there is helium. In between there are so many other chemicals and molecules are mentioned. And if you see, the formation of these all chemicals, these molecules takes place between this hydrogen and the helium. One is lightest material, another one is heaviest material. So so to this some extent we can also explain this formation of Pancha Mahabhoota at the last, and the formation of the helium in the beginning. So changes taking place between this heavy and light material, and that can be understood to some extent. Now, what I mean to say is, so like that there is formation of these five basic elements, or four basic elements rather, and this whole universe and also the human being is made up of all these four elements. Now if you come to this part, uh, if you see any part of the body, they are not divided of this. Some of them are nitrogen derived substances, some of them are oxygen derived substances, hydrogen derived substances, and the carbon derived substance. That makes the complete universe, and that also makes the complete body. So this is how we have to understand the Pancha Mahabhuta theories. This theory explains nothing, that this whole nature is made up of, this whole universe is made up of these four basic elements and its derivatives. Similarly, the replica of this nature, that is our body, that our body is also made up of these four basic elements along with the space. Okay, along with the space. Without that it is not possible. If you take a cell, inside the cell also we got all these four elements. Inside the cell there is a mitochondria which is suggestive of Agni Mahabhuta or Tejo Mahabhuta, and there is a cytoplasm or protoplasm, what you say, that suggestive of Jala Mahabhuta, and there is some nitrogen based substances like DNA, which is very very important, because DNA contains nitrogen bases which is responsible for cell division, which is present in the form of Vayu Mahabhuta, and there is some carbon particle for the particular purpose of energy and glucose and all those things. So that's nutrition substance, that's Prithvi Mahabhuta. So like this, each and every part of the cell is also consisted of these four basic elements. So this is how Ayurveda explains that. When Ayurveda says the body is Pancha Mahabhuta, body is made up of Pancha Mahabhuta, it suggests that our body is made up of these four basic elements. It's a different fact that in the beginning of this Srishti, these all four basic elements are present in the inert form, and later when, because of so many chemical and biochemical reactions and physical reaction, chemical reaction, they get derived and their permutation and combination is formed, and as a result this complex universe is formed, and later the gift of that same universe is our body, and that body is formed. So this is what I mean by Pancha Mahabhuta theory. This is how we have to understand. So our body is made up of Pancha Mahabhuta. Our body is made up of Pancha Mahabhutas with the dominant of one particular Mahabhuta. We said that our body is a combination of Pancha Mahabhuta with the dominance of one, each and every part. If suppose I take bone, the bone is made up of all the Pancha Mahabhutas with the dominant Prithvi Mahabhuta or Vayu Mahabhuta. Okay, similarly when I say blood is made up of all the Pancha Mahabhutas with the dominance of Jala Mahabhuta. Okay, when I take the abdominal, it's a dominance of all the Mahabhutas, formed by all the Mahabhutas with the dominance of some Akasha Mahabhuta. So like that, each and every part of the body is made up of Pancha Mahabhuta, and this is a basic theory of Ayurveda. Therefore, it comes to the next Samanya Vishesh Siddhanta. Whatever which is deficient in our body, so that will be taken from the environment or nature, and what is extra in our body will be given back to the nature, so that the balance between these basic substances, basic molecules will be get balanced. Okay, that will be maintained. So this is one important thing that we have to understand regarding Pancha Mahabhuta theory, upon which the all principles of Ayurveda has been laid down. So thank you very much for patience listening. Don't forget to subscribe my channel, and also please give your valuable comments. In the next class we will have another important aspects of Ayurveda, which differentiate Ayurveda from the other sciences, that is about Samanya Vishesha Siddhanta. So that we will discuss. Thank you very much.